Here's into a glimpse of how it used to be in my head and in my body when I would go on vacation with my beloved. He goes on amazing vacations, always has. It's really important to him to travel. With me, we moved. I used to joke that we didn't go on vacation, we just moved. And so I had a little anxiety about it at first anyway, because man, I really liked him. He was the best anyone had ever been to me. Like, he treated me better than anyone in my life had ever treated me. Now, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to read you this that I wrote. That picture is us. Well, it's me and Beetle Bailey on one of our vacations. So we're on vacation driving and I cry quietly and I look out the window. Why is he angry with me? And when I try and be chatty, extra sweet to make up for whatever I've done, because I always blame myself for the things that other people, like I blame myself for how they are being. I just seem to irritate him when I try and be extra sweet. How can I be so close to someone and be so incredibly lonely? We get to where we're going and he's happy. Hooray, we're here. Now it's time for sexy time. But I don't feel sexy. I feel confused and sad. I'm also a product of someone who, when someone else provides good things for you, you respond in a way that they like. Newsflash. He wasn't angry. He just isn't chatty while he drives. And in my family of origin, people who don't talk with you, especially in close quarters, were angry with you. Or at least that's what I thought. I never asked. Because my pattern was to fly below the radar, I didn't make a fuss about why he wasn't talking to me, about why suddenly I was supposed to feel generous with my body, and I did not. Going along to get along was how I had survived as a child. Playing the game that someone else wanted to play. The game was the way that this only child felt like she could keep someone around, especially this only child who moved around a lot. When we would go on vacation, he would ask me if I wanted a prize, and I did. But it was hard to pick out one because in my mind, you better make a good choice. You only get one. And if you found something that you wanted even more later, too bad, you already made your choice. Newsflash, he never said this. This was part of my backpack of the past that was crushing my good time with this man that I love. My people pleasing and not knowing how to advocate for myself, how to speak up for myself, how to even ask, how to be okay asking, are you good? Is something going on? This is how I spent most of my life. It's how I spent the first 25 years of my relationship with Fela. I look back at love notes and poems that I had written him, and I noticed the apologetic tone that I wasn't like someone else, that I wasn't better than I was, that I wasn't someone else. He never asked me to be anyone else. He never asked me to be anyone other than I was. These were the ways that I kept myself in line. I kept myself convenient, easy to keep around by hurting my own feelings. I looked at myself through his eyes that weren't even his eyes, and I had this crushing cast about who I needed to be for him to even want me to be around. All of my life, I would have told you that I was a highly sensitive person. And when I look back, I am, and I was. Also, I made myself more sensitive, repeating the stories of my lack, my not being good enough, my needing to hustle for love. Guitar players will often take sandpaper and grit down their fingertips so they have a different feel, so they're more sensitive. That's kind of what I was doing with my story. I created even more highly sensitive in me with the things I kept wearing myself down with. I did this with fella. I did this with friends. I did this with family. I did this at work. You are tired of keeping yourself in line by hurting your own feelings. You want to feel sturdy enough in yourself to say what you want to say and not be compelled to hurt your own feelings about why you even asked if the answer was no. Patterns like this kept us safe for a chunk of time. They were useful for a chunk of time. And now they're no longer useful. There is freedom in you not beating someone else to the punch in hurting your own feelings. My heart is on fire for you to see and realize so much of why you hurt and how you hurt yourself. It could be shifted with shifts in your perception. I can be your guide if you find that you are intrigued by me and the way I work. There's a way for you to do this. I have a membership. It's $33 a month. It closes on 7/7/24 at 11:30 Eastern Time. There's a link in my profile. If you're interested, go look. Ask me more questions. It's going to close on 7/7, and then we open again in October. And I'll always be here on the socials. I cannot wait to see the sparkle in your eye when you say, Brandy, I saw it. I saw where we were in this situation and I walked straight up to the part where I used to hurt my feelings. And now I see that I can keep doing that, or I could make another choice. My heart is huge for you. And when you're not spending time and energy fighting yourself about yourself, what else do you want to use that beautiful life force for? Come on, come in.